New troubles brewing today for the Southern cooking queen Paula Deen. Walmart, Target, Home Depot, they've joined the list of companies to cut ties with her today. This after Deen admitted using the N-word and tolerating racial jokes at work. The topic of race, certainly a very touchy, sensitive subject, and we've got people on one side saying Deen deserves to lose her empire. Others have a different point of view. They are clearly much more sympathetic. The journalist Anthony Cook is joining us now from the Huntsville Times. Anthony, thanks very much for coming in. You've written a very provocative piece that sheds a certain light on Deen's use of that N-word. Tell us about your bottom line.
We're not hearing anything on this end.
Anthony, can you hear me now? Anthony? All right, we're going to have to fix that communications with Anthony.
I can hear you now.
We'll get that. Oh, Anthony, you can hear me. All right, good, excellent. All right, tell us about your article that you wrote, because I read it, clearly provocative, but explain why you, to a certain degree, are sympathetic to Paula Deen.
Well, I don't know that I would use sympathetic to Paula Deen. I think the issue with Paula Deen provided an opportunity to address something that doesn't get discussed very often, and that's the use of the N-word in this country and the fact that there is a double standard for who uses it and how it's used. I would start by, first of all, acknowledging that a black person calling me the N-word could never cut me as deeply as a white person who were to call me the N-word. But the point of the column was to ask the question, or raise the question, why does anybody want to use it?
Which is, it's a horrible word, and no one should use it. But you acknowledge in the column that at one point in your life, you used to use that word yourself, right?
Correct. Growing up as a youth, I think we live in a culture where it has become acceptable to use it casually, kind of as almost as a term of affection in the black community. But I just feel like there is the word carries with it an inherent history that is derogatory toward our race. And in my own personal growth, I came to understand that it's not good to use the word at all.
Yeah, it's a horrible word, whether used by blacks or whites or anyone else. I think we all agree. So what is your opinion, if you don't mind sharing with us? What should happen to Paula Deen? Because she acknowledged she did use that N-word.
Right. Now, the thing with Paula Deen, and I think I expressed this in the column, is that it wasn't so much the use of the N-word, and I stated explicitly in the column that my column was not a defense of her. I think, though, that coupled with the use of the N-word, the charges were that there's some other actions that took place that indicated some racial discrimination in the workplace. And so I think that should just play out legally, whatever judge and jury decides, or whatever the court, her adjudicators decide needs to happen with her. That's what happens. But Paula Deen is a big girl. She doesn't need Anthony Cook to defend her.
No, she certainly is. You make excellent points, though. This is a horrible, horrible word, and no one should use it under any circumstances. Hey, Anthony, thanks very much for writing the article, and thanks for joining us here on CNN.
Thanks, Wolf, for having me.